What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and to more 1 vs 1 lightsaber duels in Battlefront 2. Today's video is focusing on the block breakers in Battlefront 2. There are a handful of heroes who have abilities that can go right through your opponent's block, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. This first one is with Kylo Ren, who can actually break blocks with his Frenzy, as you can see. That one's fun. Only the third hit breaks blocks. So the first two can still be blocked, and then the third one is what goes through. Here's another one with Anakin, who is also another block breaker. We will go over his after Kylo's. But these duels were fun. I put the Frenzy to good use here, and that's why I wanted to showcase them. I actually finished this Anakin using the block breaker. So he's low right here, and that's usually what I try to do with Kylo, is I try to get them low and then finish them off with the Frenzy, because even if they block the first few hits, they can't block the block breaker, obviously. He goes for a Heroic Might, but I parry it. Right there, the first two Frenzy hits were blocked, and then the third got him. And after that last hit, I knew I had him here, I just had to wait for Frenzy to come back. Fortunately, it's got a pretty short cooldown. But I get him with all three hits here, and then the last one finishes it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Frenzy's good. Just gotta keep in mind that it's the third attack that can break blocks. I was getting some comments asking me if it was all three hits, but it's just the one. So here's Anakin's. The Passionate Strike is his block breaker, and what I did there is I actually parried 2 of Kylo's hits to get some initial damage in, and that made him rethink trying to parry my attacks. So once he defaulted back to the block, I hit him with the Passionate Strike, and it was just guaranteed damage. It's very powerful. I messed up here. I should have just gone for a second attack. Instead I went for Heroic Might. And I get a cheesy finish with the Passionate Strike, which kind of tracked him down. But the Passionate Strike is really powerful. If you can get 2 attacks in and then follow up with the Passionate Strike, that's pretty much 500 guaranteed damage. It's hard to beat. Next block breaker belongs to Yoda and the dash attack. This one was interesting because back in the day, when Battlefront 2 first came out, it still had this block breaking effect, but it turns out that this was actually a glitch. We had an update well over a year ago at this point where they removed the block breaking effect from Yoda's dash, and it wasn't very good after that. It made the community realize just how much Yoda kind of needed the block breaking effect. And that's what I'm trying to do to this Vader. I'm trying to keep his health low and then use the block breaker to keep his health low so he can't get it back. And that's keeping him on the back foot here. He's not being very aggressive, he's not attacking all too much, he's kind of just defending and backing up. And that's because he's trying to get his health back, but I am not letting him. Most Vader players would be a little bit more offensive, but he doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks just because of his low health, and that's just the power of the block breaker. Boom, one more time. He is within 1 hit now, and that's all just thanks to me managing my dash attacks, using them only when I know I'm in range. He gets a good choke on me here. As the game lags out a little bit. I tried one attack, but I didn't want to follow him just in case he was mid-attack during that lag spike. I was within 1 hit myself, so I didn't want to take the unnecessary risk. But we're both pretty low here. We're both playing smart. I have the advantage, though, because of the block breaker, and he knows it, so he's trying to back off to get his health back. I land that first hit and finish it with a jump attack. Now, this next one I lost, and despite how it looks, it's actually for Luke Skywalker and not Kylo Ren. The 3 block breakers of common knowledge in this game are the ones we already went over: Kylo, Anakin, and Yoda. But Luke actually has a secret block breaker for his Repulse ability. It's not supposed to do this. This guy was actually a really good duelist. As you can see, he kind of took it to me. But with a particular star card, Luke Skywalker can break blocks using Repulse. As you can see, I got 12 health. I was within half the radius, and even though I was blocking, he still took me out with Repulse. And that's what Epicenter does. It gives you bonus damage to the center radius of Repulse, but even if the target is blocking, it'll still hit. Right there, I did Repulse on this Kylo, and it went through their block. It's not the most powerful block breaker because it only deals the bonus damage. So depending on the level of your star card, that's how much damage you will do. At Epic, it only does 40. The initial repulse damage still gets blocked. Again, right there, he blocked the initial damage, but the bonus damage still got through the block. And it's just a really good way to stop your opponent from healing, or if they're within one tap, as you saw in that previous duel, you could just use the repulse to finish it. I actually got the knockdown with it there, fortunately, and then got a clean finish there. But I want to showcase that one because I used the repulse as effectively as I could to stop that player's health from coming back. We tried to do the same thing here with this Kylo. He's being offensive with Frenzy, breaks my block, but I parried most of those shots, and I actually did more damage to him than he did to me, funny enough. Here I'm just trying to keep the pressure up until I can get my abilities back. If I can finish it sooner, even better. It tried to get a cheeky kill by pulling me off the edge. And right there, repulse went through the block once again. And like I said, they're able to block the initial repulse damage, so they block that full 90 or 100 or whatever the repulse does as a base amount, and they only take the extra. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a pretty balanced bug. And I will say it's a bug because I don't think the repulse card effect is supposed to do that. I think it's just supposed to tack on extra damage when the repulse hits. It's not supposed to break blocks. But the fact that you have to use up one full star card slot, that's a pretty hefty price to pay for just 40 bonus damage. So I think this is pretty balanced. And that repulse missed right there. They were on the outer radius instead of the inner radius. And that's the kicker for it. They have to be close enough for it to hit. If they're on the outside, the bonus damage will not pierce. As they jump away, I get a clean force push on them.
Someone's coming. Someone dangerous.
Here they try to pull me off the edge again, I think. Yeah, they got the freeze and tried to do it, but I taunt them because they failed. And I knew I had it right here. Repulse is a pretty good counter to Kylo's Frenzy because he's locked into it. It's basically a free knockdown if you can do the repulse while he's in the middle of Frenzy. He basically can't get away. But those were all the duels that we had for today's video. It was a little bit of a shorter one. I actually had trouble getting clean examples of block breakers, but I think these got the point across. You gotta kind of use them in different ways. Yoda's is really good for keeping your opponent on the ropes and keeping their health low. Anakin's is good for dishing out big damage right off the bat, and Kylo's is a good finishing move. And then you got Luke's secret one with the repulse. But that was it for today's duel video. Thank you all so much for stopping by the channel. Consider subscribing if you're new, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. We'll let this last duel play out, but that's gonna do it for me. Peace, guys.